this is Taryn, and we're with What's Working in Breck, a podcast all about what's going on in Breckenridge County. We're with the Optimist Club. I'm your host, Taryn, and we're going to talk about what they have going on. So, what is y'all's little club going on?
So the Optimist Club is an international organization. It's a nonprofit. We started a chapter in Breckenridge County about 2 years ago with the purpose to provide opportunities specifically geared toward children in Breckenridge County. And so one of the big projects we've been working on for the last 2 years is renovation of the former Tadpole Park in McDaniels. If you're from the area, you're probably familiar with that, but we have been doing renovations there. We are currently working through the concession stand. We've gotten it kind of renovated and ready to start running electricity and water, just trying to bring some life back to that ballpark for events in that part of the county. And so that's kind of been our focus in the last couple of years.
What kind of events are you guys planning to do?
We've been doing soccer, so we've had a soccer league there in the fall with lots of kids coming out. We want to do things like farmers markets. We want to do co-ed softball. We want to do video movie nights out in the outfield. There's been car shows. There's been Easter egg hunts. Just something where the people who live maybe on that end of the county in the lake communities have a place where they can go for things to happen so that you don't always have to travel into town, into Hardinsburg to do that.
Well, that sounds super fun. I have heard of a Christmas light show that you guys are doing. Want to tell me more about that?
Sure will. So we were able to do a trunk or treat in the North Fork campground back on Halloween, which turned out great. We had a lot of good sponsors. A lot of families were able to show up. Again, this is something that brings people back to their own community rather than having to travel to another town to take your kids trick-or-treating. Fun, safe event. And while we did that, we partnered with the Corps of Engineers, Friends of Rough River, and the Optimist Club. We put that together, and then we had a crazy idea to do a drive-through Christmas light show. So, that being said, we all jumped in and said, let's make it happen. We started taking names about 3 weeks ago. So in 3 weeks, we've filled an entire campground with lights. We asked the businesses in the community. We went door to door, advertised on Facebook, sent emails, made some phone calls, and we have filled the park. So we have businesses that have put up banners, lights, inflatables. We have some really cool things that you're going to have to come out to see. I'm not going to spoil it. But it's a free event. It was free for the community to set up, and it's free for anyone to attend. We will start tonight, Friday, December the 6th, and we're going to run every Friday, Saturday, Sunday from 5 p.m. until 11, and it's free to attend. We are taking donations for the Breck League Optimist Club if you'd like to donate, but otherwise it is free. Bring your whole family. We will, on the 21st, have a live nativity sponsored by Goshen Baptist Church, and there's lots of other fun things going on. We'll have a tree at one end of the park that has, it's going to be the Optimist tree, where you can leave an ornament, a ribbon, a memento, a medal, something that's saying what's happened with your life this year. Maybe someone you've lost, maybe an accomplishment that you've made, a job interview, a birth of a child, anything that's good or that has affected your life throughout the year. So we're excited to see that come for the community and excited to see people come together and make this happen.
That sounds amazing. Do you guys plan on doing this forthcoming years?
I'm sure we will. We already have businesses, some that weren't able to come this year and some that are already there this year, and they have big plans for next year. So everyone's jealous.
Right.
Who hasn't been able to be there. All week we've been out there every day. Last night I said it looked like Santa's workshop. All you could hear were hammers and screws and nails and people and inflatables and everything going on. As soon as the lights go down, the sun goes down, it just looks amazing. It's really something to see.
And it's been one of those things where the Corps of Engineers has been great as far as getting us approval to use their property because ultimately it is their electricity that's going to power all of this, and it's their gates that have to be open. And so they've done great in making sure we have the space we need. I think we've ended up having to go back several times and say, we're out of space. We need the next loop where there's normally campers. And so we have used every spot that we can that it provides electricity. And so we're already kind of in talks next year. Well, what if Axtell's not big enough? Can we do Axtell and North Fork, where you leave one and go to the other? But everybody from around here knows, honestly, probably one of the best things about Breck County is if it's for the kids, the businesses, the churches, the individuals step up. And as soon as they heard, hey, we don't want you to have to drive to Brandenburg. We don't want you to have to drive to E-Town. We want to do this right here at home. Everybody was all in and started ordering things to make their camp spot interesting. And so there are some really cool things that you're going to see, a very cool theming. Some businesses have taken some heavy machinery out there that the little boys are going to go crazy when they see it all lit up. And so we're excited to see it quickly come to fruition this year, because it has been a fast 3 weeks. But also, when we have a year's worth of planning, what can we do next year to make this bigger and better?
Absolutely.
So personally, I have never been there because I'm not from here.
Right?
So how big is this campground?
So I think the campground has about 190 spots, but not all of those have electric. So we have
100 and there are 158 within the small loop, and we're using about 120 of those.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And so there will be anywhere in the ballpark of 60 to 70 businesses set up. Some of them brought enough stuff they needed 2 spots. And so we were happy to oblige. But it is not something you're going to get through in 5 minutes. You know, you're going to slow down, and there's lots to see and do. Like Tanya said, the weekend before Christmas, there's going to be a live nativity with live animals and people portraying Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus. And so we're excited that as you approach the end of that weekend before Christmas, the last message you're kind of going to leave with is the real reason why we all want to do this. And so we're just excited to get out to see the people's response. I think we're all a little nervous of what's everybody going to think. But ultimately, we know little kids are going to love it, and that's what it's all about for the Optimist Club.
I want to encourage people when they go, drive very slow. Stop and take it all in on each site, because you really can't notice all the small details if you just make a quick look through. We went through last night and just stopped at each one, and you can see the really cool things that people have made it purposeful to their business. A lot of these sites are community members, just people that wanted to participate. So it's great to see the things that are important to them that make it important to the Christmas season. And one big thing we have coming up, there'll be a winner. One site.
Everything's a contest, right?
One site's going to get chosen as a winner, and they'll keep a traveling trophy. And they'll have their name displayed on the traveling trophy, and then we'll pass it around year after year, and you'll get bragging rights for the entire time. So we're looking forward to see who takes home the big trophy this year.
And we ultimately want this to be another one of those annual events in Breck County that everyone looks forward to. You've got, I grew up here. I've lived here my entire life. And so there's things, the Breck County Fair and Hoedown Day and those things that everyone's always done. We want this to become one of those things where every December families look forward to what's going to happen over at the campground this year. And there's literally things for everybody. Obviously Santa is going to be seen, but so is Clark Griswold, and so is the Grinch, and the characters are out in full effect. So we're excited to just see everybody's reception as they start going through it tonight.
It's been fun for us to see it come together. So many moving parts, so many small things, and then when you tie it all together, it has been really fun to see.
Yeah. So what does the Optimist Club mean to you two?
I think for me, because I grew up here, as an adult, I can now look back and see maybe opportunities I had that other kids didn't. And so the whole goal of Optimist is to provide opportunities for children who might not always have those. And so that's one of the reasons why, and it is not at all that our focus is only in McDaniels. Hardinsburg has a baseball and softball league. They don't need that. Someone's already doing it. So what we see in McDaniels is that there is a need for the kids who live over there. And there was a building and an existing ballpark that we could kind of not have to start from scratch. But ultimately, what we want is safe activities for the kids, things that families can go and do together, where it's not just drop the kids off and come back and get them, but really do it together. And so if you find Breck League Optimist on Facebook, we are doing things all the time. We have this campground event going every weekend, but on December 14th, so a week from now, we are going to have Santa Claus at the McDaniels Community Center with hot cocoa and cookies and activities for kids. So I recommend everybody go find Breck League Optimist on Facebook. Give that page a like so that you stay up to date when we are doing soccer, when there is events happening, that your kids don't miss out.
And I also enjoy that there are things to do right in our community. We drive past that McDaniels Community Center every day. It's right on Highway 259, and that's where the Optimist Club is stationed out of, our chapter is stationed out of. So it's nice to have something that's right there. And like Carrie said, the events that are coming up, it's year-round. There is something happening all the time. I encourage people to get involved, to volunteer, to help the kids in the community, and to find things that interest you that might be able to be a part of the club as well.
Absolutely.
Well, it sounds like an amazing organization. Is there anything else that you guys would like to add?
I want to tell you where the campground is. If you're not familiar with the lake, if you're from Breckenridge County, obviously you know how to get to Rough River. But if you take Highway 259 and go towards the dam and turn on 79, you're going to run right into Axtell Campground. Really across the street from
Nick's Boat Dock.
Nick's Boat Dock, if you're familiar with that as well. And you can see it from anywhere in that area. As soon as you drive by, you're going to know where you are.
Well, I will be telling my family about it.
Good.
And I hope you
We hope
attend.
to
Yeah.
see everybody
Yeah.
in the next few weeks.
Yep. Sounds great.
Okay, well, from what I'm hearing, there's an amazing light show that's coming tonight for the rest of our...
The whole month of December.
And until January 5th.
Well, thank you guys very much for coming and informing us and our viewers about it.
Thank you for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.